Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to Badaboom. I'm Troy. Today I want to talk to you about the actor situation that we have kind of going on for superhero movies in Hollywood. And what really got me thinking about this is what's been happening right now with Green Lantern. It was in the news recently that Josh Brolin was offered the role of Hal Jordan, and I honestly think he would have been a great pick. He's been Thanos, he's been Cable, he's been Jonah Hex. Like, the dude's been in the industry. Not just the movie industry, of course, but the superhero industry. He knows how to play the part. But he turned it down. Don't know why, but it's totally fine. There's a slew of other people that could have been picked for Green Lantern. Some other people that were in the running were Chris Pine, Timmy Olyphant, Ian McGregor, Matthew McConaughey, like lots of great actors. I actually think Chris Pine would do a great job, but that's, we don't know. We don't know who's going to take up the mantle yet. All we know is that Josh Brolin isn't. But one thing that is clear is that almost all these actors that have been asked to play Hal Jordan are all over the age of 50. Now, that's kind of what they're going for Green Lantern. They want someone that's going to be older, and Jon Stewart appears to be like the main Green Lantern that we're going to see, which, hey, that's great. Jon Stewart needs his time in the spotlight. We've been doing Hal Jordan for a long time. I love Hal Jordan, but Jon Stewart is who I grew up with in Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, the TV shows. So yeah, let's give him a spotlight and we'll figure out who's going to come next and who's going to carry the other mantles. But even Guy Gardner, Nathan, that actor is over 50. So a lot of our Green Lantern Corps members, they're older. So what's going on? Are we kind of losing that generation of actors? Are they just not really interested in doing superhero movies? Or is that just who we're kind of picking from for the Green Lantern storyline? Well, to be honest, I think we are losing that generation of actors. Even Hugh Jackman. Yeah, Hugh Jackman, yeah, he played Wolverine and he's done like 11, 12 movies as Wolverine. Like, he's done his time. And he came back and he did Deadpool. Robert Downey Jr., he's coming back and he is going to be Doctor Doom. But I feel like we're really either milking these actors that are a little bit older, or we're not getting a younger generation of actors really into these superhero universes so that we can, carry on this universe for a long time. I mean, when RDJ left the MCU, Chris Evans left the MCU, yeah, they're all getting, older and it makes sense, but their story arcs had been completed. And to a certain extent, we hadn't really found ways to replace them. And we did have some great new movies that came out. We had Shang-Chi. Tom Holland is coming back as Spider-Man, which Tom Holland is one of the younger actors in the MCU, and he's doing a great job of carrying the MCU from a Spider-Man standpoint. But also, he is going to get a little bit tired of it too and want to do other things. Yeah, it's a great paycheck, but I don't see him being a Spider-Man as long as Robert Downey Jr. was being an Iron Man. I think Tom Holland's going to want to break out and do other things that are going to define his career. He doesn't want Spider-Man to be all he's known for. And Robbie Downey Jr. isn't known just for being Iron Man. Yeah, he was Iron Man later in his career and revitalized it, but he had lots of other movies prior to this that did really well. But overall, MCU-wise, we haven't found someone that's like leading the MCU actor-wise like Chris Evans and RDJ was. So we're bringing all these older actors kind of back to be like, hey, yeah, can you continue to carry the banner? When really, I think we need to be bringing back in or starting to bring in younger actors to be able to carry that banner for us. And I kind of already mentioned the problem of bringing in younger actors. Maybe they don't have like the level of attraction or stardom to retain people into some of the MCU movies. Maybe some of these actors and actresses are kind of like, hey, I just want to do a one and done. I really don't want to be in this universe for a long time and committed to a role that I can't continuously fulfill. And I mean, that's why Joaquin Phoenix didn't do Doctor Strange. He was going to be our original Doctor Strange, but the amount of commitments and the contracts scared him and said, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. Even Chris Evans had that fear too. And thank goodness Chris Evans did it, because he's been an amazing Captain America. But after Joaquin Phoenix said, hey, I can't do that, Marvel changed their contracts and said, we won't have these super long contracts so we can, try and attract more people. But it also kind of means that some people can fizzle in and fizzle out. So it's tough to say, like, what's really going to happen. Are we going to be able to continue to get actors that are going to retain our attention, our focus, or are we really looking for actors that are, in an older generation that are like, hey, I'm just coming in to do this one movie, this one show, and I'm done? That's okay, actually. In some situations, that's okay, because there's a large universe, there's lots of pieces to this pie, and everyone should be able to get a slice. But when it comes to, well, who am I going to go see in a Marvel movie or even a DC movie, we need to have those pillars of actors and actresses that we can say, this person kind of like grounds that universe, or this person is what tethers us to that universe. And when we see them in a movie, we're like, oh yeah, like I know what's going to happen. Not even what's going to happen, but you just get that excitement of, I can't wait to see them in action. And, we got that with RDJ. We got that with Chris Evans. Both of them really embody their characters of Iron Man and Captain America. And we need to have younger actors and actresses jump into some of these roles and have them tether that universe and those characters for, my generation, but also a younger generation. This could be, for them, one, it's a great paycheck. Two, you kind of get to build a following. Like Tom Hiddleston. Yeah, he started doing Loki a long time ago, and he'd been in other things before that, but anything he's in now, I'm like, yo, I'm going to go watch that. Night Manager. It's a series on Amazon Prime. It's got Tom Hiddleston in it. That's all I need to know for me to say, yep, let's watch that. Anything Tom Hiddleston is going to do in the future, I'm going to watch, because I got so invested into his acting career from what he did in the MCU. So that's one way I think younger actors could look into it, is this is how I'm going to build a following. This is how I'm going to get people invested in me. And whenever I do, a movie or an indie movie, or maybe even a movie that you don't think is going to do that well, or a really low budget one, you can kind of assume you're going to have a built-in fan base of people that are going to go and watch this because they loved you in all the MCU movies. I think Sebastian Stan has really capitalized on this, because he's been in a ton of movies the last 5-6 years, some in big roles, some in small roles. But anytime I see his name pop up, I'm like, oh, I loved him in everything he's done in the Marvel universe, and I'm going to watch it. And the movies, have also been pretty good along the way too. So it's a win-win for him, but also it's a win-win for all those other movie studios that say, hey, you did like 4 or 5 Marvel movies. All those movies did well. They're well received. Let's pluck you up and put you in something that's, even it's a supporting role, or maybe it's a main role. So for movie studios, it's also a win. But for younger actors and for the studios themselves, I would say, hey, let's try and focus on maybe getting some younger actors into the DC and MCU universes, so that we can build these universes on actors and actresses that will continue to play these roles for a long period of time. But two, they will also feel invested in, because they're going to be in several movies. They're going to be building that fan base. And for other movie studios, it's a win-win, because it's kind of like, hey, they're heavily invested in, and if we get them in one of our movies, we've got that built-in audience. Now, there's a ton of great other actors and actresses that aren't a part of any of these universes. And some of them have been in the running for Marvel or DC roles, or some of them have been fan casted. Like, go on Threads, Twitter, Instagram, and you can find a ton of these people casted. And that's great. We should try and get, I believe, more of those people into some of these films. Some of them that have, little to no experience, you take a risk on it if they have never done a superhero movie. But you kind of need that if you're going to make an investment, and you got to have good casting directors to make those investments. But what do you want to see? Do you want to see actors and actresses just do one movie with Marvel and DC and move on to something else? Do you want to see younger or older actors and actresses be invested in as the main tether or the main characters for these universes? Or do you just want us to bring back all the old people and, keep doing those same stories? Let us know in the comments below. And with that, bada boom.